Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Danica and I'm currently going on a pregnancy journey, and this is my first video sharing about my first trimester, and I'm answering a few questions that I got over on Instagram. And yeah, I'm just so happy that you're here. I hope this video helps you if you are currently pregnant, or you just found out you're pregnant, or you're like in the first few weeks of pregnancy. I know when I was in the very early stages of pregnancy, I pretty much absorbed videos like this. So I really hope this video finds you well, and I hope that you feel understood and seen and just a little bit at peace after you watch this video. And if you're not even pregnant and you're just watching this because you're interested, I hope that you find this video very interesting and just kind of enjoy all the weird things that happened to me. I don't know why, but I'm a little bit nervous. I have really tried to film this video about 3 times now, and the other 2 times I just got extremely exhausted by the time I pressed record. The other time I was overheating, everything was irritating me and the camera wasn't working. So I'm filming this on my phone, and I'm just really hoping that this kind of like works out for me. To be honest with you, I don't know how to start this video, so I'm just going to go over to my Instagram, look at some of the questions that were asked, and then I'll just go from there. So I guess the first question that I would like to touch on would be, I have a few of them, and it kind of touches on miscarriage and our miscarriage that we had in 2021, and kind of like my feelings around trying a second time or getting pregnant a second time. So the questions are: were you scared after a loss, and how did you mentally get through it? How did you deal with anxiety from a previous miscarriage? And then how did you get through the first trimester after a miscarriage? Were you scared? Those are some really good questions, and thank you so much for asking me those. The topic of miscarriage doesn't upset me, or talking about our miscarriage doesn't make me uncomfortable. I found that talking about it actually with friends and family and sharing about it actually healed me from it, me and my husband Joe. And the answer is yes, I definitely was scared getting pregnant the second time, and the only thing that you can possibly think about if you've been through a miscarriage before is, will I be miscarrying again? And you're almost hyper alert of the symptoms and signs, and you're so in tune with your body that you kind of like any little thing that's not a symptom or that's just a little bit off, you kind of overthink those things. So I definitely did feel scared, and we were actually traveling during the time of our pregnancy, which was a bit of a surprise for us. We didn't expect to get pregnant so early on. I was really nervous to be pregnant overseas for sure, but what we actually found was that we were so distracted by traveling, we weren't really as anxious about being pregnant as much as we thought that we would be. So I remember when we were in Hoi An, I missed my period, and that was the first sign for me that I am pregnant, because I never miss my period. I'm always right on time, or I always get my period every month. And when I didn't get my period, that was pretty clear to me that I was pregnant. So I guess this is a sign, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm just going to leave it for another week. Maybe my period is just late, and I almost didn't want to fall in love with the idea that I was pregnant straight away. I think that's what hurt so much in the beginning, so I was just protecting my heart this next time round. I kind of was just like, oh, we'll see, I might get my period next week. And then the following week came around, and then that was when we were 5 weeks pregnant. And that was like the scary week for us, because that's when we miscarried last time, around 5-6 weeks. I was very aware that, okay, this is week 5 if I was pregnant, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get my period now. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see spotting. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be signs of like that coming around this time, and nothing like that came about. So one of the biggest things was, obviously, if you've miscarried before, the scariest thing is when you go to the toilet and you pee and you do whatever you do and you wipe and you see blood. That's like the most awful thing to see. So that was a little bit scary for me in the beginning, just like wiping every time and kind of like having to take a breath and then look down and then, okay, there's no blood, thank you Jesus, and then kind of take day by day like that. But traveling was definitely a main distraction. We were like going all over the places and doing all these different things, so I wasn't really focused on my body as much, and like every single thing I felt a little bit weird. I didn't really think, oh, that could be because I'm pregnant, or there must be something wrong with me now, which I'm kind of grateful for, because it was just a perfect distraction at that time. And then week 6 came around and I still didn't get my period, and that's when I was like, week 6 was like a big one. I was like, okay, did we just make it past the big scary week? It feels like we did. Okay, maybe this is true. Maybe I'm not going to have a miscarriage. Maybe I'm not going to get my period. Maybe this is actually moving in the right direction. And then I just kind of still kept it at a distance from me, which is, if you think about it, it's quite sad. You almost protect yourself so much that you don't really want to get as invested in the beginning. Yeah, I just was like, okay, the next week will come, I'll have my period then, and we'll just go with the flow for now. Week 7 came, and that's when we flew to Thailand. And then I was like, okay, when we get to the airport, I'll buy a pregnancy test, and then when we get to where we're staying, I will do the test then, and we can just go from there. We get back to the accommodation, and I was just a little bit scared, to be honest with you. I was kind of like enjoying the way that it was just in my head and not actually true just yet, in case something happened. So we could be pregnant, but we don't know. And I just kind of enjoyed that stage a little bit more. And then finally we took the day we left that resort is when we tested, and it was positive. So that's how we found out. And I have also been asked what my first symptoms were. It was definitely just missed period, to be honest with you. There were so many weeks where I didn't feel like I was pregnant. There's so many weeks where I was like, is this even real? I don't feel pregnant. I didn't have any of the symptoms in the beginning that, like, I had an app that I was following along and entering all these details in, and there were so many things like, you're probably feeling nauseous, you're probably feeling tired, you're probably feeling like high sense of smell, your boobs are probably very sore. And to be honest with you, I didn't feel any of those, and it left me so confused for the first couple of weeks. From like week 4 up until week 8, I was just like, I could be pregnant. But we took the test on week 7, so that was like clear proof that we are pregnant. But still, I was like, this doesn't feel real. I don't feel tired. Maybe I am tired, but am I just traveling? You know, am I just really nauseous, or am I just eating funny food? Do you know what I mean? Is my sense of smell really heightened, or am I just in Thailand or Vietnam? So those things kind of confused me a little bit, and I didn't really feel like I was pregnant until we came back to New Zealand, and I was in the comfort of my own home. And we were preparing for Christmas. So we came back on the 10th of December. And that was like week 9, week 10. We got our ultrasound when we got back, and that was also very scary. So this time round was just emotions on all-time high. We were so nervous that they were going to just get us in and out there. We were so nervous that, I was nervous and Joe was nervous with me that it was going to be a guy doing the ultrasound. I've just had terrible experiences with male gynecologists, male nurses, male just anything in that area. I've just had the worst experiences, so I was nervous about that. I was so nervous that we weren't going to hear the heartbeat. I was so nervous that we weren't going to see anything in the ultrasound. So everything was just like, that day was so stressful. And Joe felt the exact same way as I did, and yeah, we were just really like leaning on each other on that day. We went in, it was an old guy that did my my ultrasound and it was on my belly. It wasn't inside, thankfully, because the previous one was. The funniest thing was I was so scared that he was going to swipe across my belly and there was going to be nothing in there, and he just literally swiped, like rubbed the gel in, and I instantly saw something, and I feel like I instantly saw the heartbeat. And I just took like the biggest, like, oh, it's real, it's actually real, like there's actually a baby inside me, what the heck. We were so unbelievably happy at that time and so emotional. My goodness, we heard the heartbeat for the first time, and that was just, that was a really special moment for Joe and I. And we left the ultrasound feeling just so relieved and happy and thankful. It just felt real for the first time in 9-10 weeks. So that was lovely. And then the following week, we've told family friends that week over FaceTime. My parents came over. We gave them like pajamas with grandma and grandpa written on it, printed on it, and in Afrikaans. And they opened it 2 days before Christmas, and we did the same thing with my sister Bianca and Ethan, her partner. So that was very special. And obviously when you tell like your closest family, it just feels so much more real. I also have to mention that I kind of prepped before we tried the second time. The first time I had no idea that it's a good idea to be on folic acid and iodine 3 months prior to trying. The second time round, I really wanted to be solid on folic acid and iodine before we tried again, and so I had 3 months in, so that helped a lot with anxiety and being scared of losing baby second time. I still do get a little bit scared every now and then, but I do just reassure myself that I am okay, everything's fine. I'm completely valid to have those feelings, and I completely understand why I have those feelings, and I just kind of like acknowledge my feelings whenever they come up and whenever I am scared in that area. And that seems to help a lot when I have a bit of anxiety around if everything's okay. And I think the first trimester is it's such a weird time. The convincing yourself that you're pregnant is really weird. Like believing that there's actually a baby growing inside of you is like it's like a really challenging thing to kind of like wrap your head around. And then also, me personally, I find it quite difficult to feel my feelings. So whenever I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good, I just kind of go, no, don't worry about it, that's nothing. Just keep going about your day kind of thing. I don't really like pause, reflect, take it in, acknowledge it. I'm really working on that at the moment, but I think it's completely normal to feel scared about it. But if I could go back and tell myself one thing, I would just tell myself that, hey Danica, it's okay to be excited. You are allowed to celebrate it, even if it's super early on and it's scary days. You are still completely valid to celebrate your pregnancy. That's the hardest thing to do, but that's one thing I would go back and tell myself if I could. Okay, so the next thing that we could move on to in this video is cravings. Your girl is a girl of food. I love food. I'm a foodie. My whole life is just lived for enjoying food. I love it with my core. But this pregnancy, I have no appetite. I know, it's wild to me. I've told my sister this and she was just like, jaw to the ground, what? This is nothing like you. I know. I thought I was going to be the girl that kind of just goes and eats everything. No, I have no appetite. All I want is texture. I want crispy, crunchy, savory, sour texture. I can't even do spicy food, and I used to love eating pickled peppers out of like a jar from the Olive Lady. If you know, you know. I could finish the jar, but now I can only eat one. And then I'm like, oh, that's spicy. And that it hurts my soul that I can't eat spicy food. But I can eat a pickled pepper and a cherry. And if I eat cherries at the same time, then I can eat spicy food for longer. that's kind of like how I've worked around that. But yeah, I've had no like insane cravings. I just crave texture, and so my current texture obsession is toasties. I want cheese and tomato in buns and bread, toasted so like crunchy that my mouth is watering. And ices, these real fruit juicies. I can't tell you how many I've had of these in the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I think Joe said about like 7 boxes, and I think there's about, I don't even know how many boxes there are in one, how many ices there. I just need to take a sip, sorry. As soon as nausea just creeps in, just have one of these, chew on it, bite on it, drink it. The juice in it is just like perfect. And then I feel like a normal human being again. Sometimes I've had 4 or 5 after each other just to get that yucky nausea away. And it's worked every time. It hasn't failed me once yet, and it's been 7 weeks. So I'll let you know once it does, but so far it's doing well. In the beginning, the only thing that helped me with nausea was soda water. I tried crackers, but it was just too dry for me. So I don't have any cravings, just my go-to food is toasties. I have crunchy food. I love crunchy foods, salty food, and savory food. What is another question that we've got? In the beginning, I didn't feel like many symptoms, if any at all, and I was just kind of confused, like, am I really pregnant? Like, is this even real? Week 9 and 10 to being like, oh, okay, I'm a little bit tired now. Yeah, I did need to kind of just take it slow a little bit, and that was during Christmas too. And to think that I thought I struck a luck in the beginning of my pregnancy. I was like, this is a breeze. If this is pregnancy, I am going to thrive during this first trimester. This is not as bad. I don't know what people are talking about. This is a breeze. Come week 11, girl, I was surviving. So that was the first day I threw up twice, and that was on New Year's Eve, and I was pretty much in bed that entire day, just absolutely miserable. And I feel like I had the worst trapped wind on week 11 on the New Year's Eve day. Oh, I had like the worst cramps, and like they were at the very like top in the middle of my stomach. It was the strangest thing. It wasn't a period cramp. I swear it felt like a contraction almost. And I was freaking out because I felt awful. I was throwing up. I thought I had food poisoning. It was just like, that's how bad it was. But the following day, 1st of January, I don't know what happened, but I was a completely different person. I felt so much better. I didn't even have like nausea that day. It was just a good time. It was just a good day. And then I was just a little bit tired maybe from the previous day. And then the following day, I think I was just starting to feel a little bit tired again. And then when we got home, I had another like bad throw up session. I think I threw up twice that day as well. You feel so sick where you just don't know if should I go throw up now, or is this just really bad nausea? I've only thrown up 5 times in the first trimester, but since week 10, 11, it kind of just went downhill for me. I'm on week 16 now, and I'm only just starting to feel a tiny bit better. Like, I'm still so unbelievably exhausted, but I'm okay. But the other weeks, like I think I recorded on my phone and I just stopped at week 9, because after week 9 I was just like, it was just not a fun time for me. But I feel like it's getting better now. There's been many times where I've just cried and telling Joe that I'm so over this. I just want to feel normal again. There's so much that I can't necessarily do. Like, I don't have a lot of motivation to work at the moment. So it's been a bit rough. It's definitely moved into my 2nd trimester. I also, only recently learnt from a friend who is also due in the same month as me that as soon as you're nauseous, you have to eat something straight away, which before you're pregnant, if you're nauseous, you learn to not eat anything because it's just going to make you more nauseous. But with pregnancy, if you're nauseous and you eat something, then it usually takes the nausea away for you for like maybe a little bit, and then you have to eat again. So you're constantly snacking, which feels so weird for me because if I'm nauseous, that's the last thing I want to do. Plus I have no appetite, so I don't want anything, I just want texture. So it's just been something that I haven't been doing for a very long time. As soon as I've started snacking a lot more, whenever I have like a tiny bit of nausea just kind of like slap me in the face, I just quickly whack it in the butt with some snacks, some chips, some pickles, some soda water. I've loved plums lately. Oh, like even bananas. I'll make myself quickly a toasty. Also, chips and dip, that's been a great one. That's really helped. Oh, Nutri-Grain has helped as well, or like granola with milk has been good, just to quickly nip it in the butt, and then I feel okay. And then like about 2 hours later I have to eat again or snack on something again. I had like cucumbers with salt on it yesterday, and they were like chunks of cucumber and they were so good. So that's kind of like how I've dealt with my nausea. With my exhaustion, I've been really bad with that. I can't take it. Like I can't deal with the fact that I'm so tired. I've tried to nap, but I've been just resting mostly, literally here on the bed for most of the time. And I've currently been binge watching Big Bang Theory, which has been like a guilty pleasure. It also puts me to sleep some nights, which is so nice. So that's kind of like what my days are filled with at the moment. Oh, and then I have worked up the courage to go to Pilates like once or twice a week. And like the last time I went to Pilates, reformer Pilates with them like machines, it was rough. Like I was definitely nauseous throughout the whole class, but I was proud of myself for, you know, doing it, and then I felt so much better afterwards, which was so surprising to me. So yeah, that's kind of like how I've been dealing with exhaustion. I can't really nap. I've tried napping. I've probably napped twice. I've had really bad sleep in the first trimester, and it's only just starting to get better now. I'm not someone that wakes up during the middle of the night when I sleep, and when I wake up to go to the bathroom and pee once or twice or even 3 times a night, it's over for me. Like my sleep is ruined and I am just miserable the next day. It's going to be interesting to see how I will be when baby comes, because I'm going to be up every 2-3 hours to feed. But I think at that time as well I won't care, because I'm just going to be so smitten by this cute little... I do think there was a question that someone asked, and it was, what are you looking forward to the most? And I kid you not, I wish that I could have the baby in my arms tomorrow. I am so looking forward to having baby here in the house. I'm so looking forward to the birth. To be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to the birth. I think that's going to be such an exciting thing to go through, and I'm not scared of it. I don't think I'm scared of it. I'm obviously like, I have no idea what to expect, but I've also done so much research, and that the birth is what fascinates me the most, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to. I just had another peek at some questions just on my phone. Someone asked, will we know the gender? Yes, we are finding the gender out in 4 weeks when we're 20 weeks. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I am so excited to know the gender. I am definitely sure, like I'm almost 100% sure, but I'm not going to say which I may be sure about. But I know like friends and family close to me know exactly what I am sure it is. But I would love for you guys to comment down below what you guys think it might be. Do you think it's a girl? Do you think it's a boy? I'm very interested to see what you guys think. One symptom that I still have to this day, and it is the most annoying symptom apart from being nauseous and tired, it is having a snotty nose. The one thing that I feel a little bit left out on is the boobs area, okay? My boobs are not sore. I don't even think my nipples are too sensitive. So I don't know what's going on there, but it needs to sort itself out because I just want to feel like I'm pregnant in that area, and I don't feel like that yet. Also, I'm a size F in my bra size, and I cannot imagine getting any bigger, like, boobs than I already have now. Yeah, I've left Farmers a couple of times just bawling my eyes out because none of the bras fit me properly. So that's been fun. I just want to spend some time talking to girlies who are watching this video, and you know, you're absorbing all of the information you can about your first trimester and wondering if any of this is normal or if any of this is like okay, or like what is going on. You are completely valid to feel anything and all of the emotions that you are feeling during your pregnancy. If you are feeling that you have no symptoms showing, trust me, I know exactly how that feels, and that is totally normal too. And if you're feeling an influx of symptoms, that is absolutely normal too. And I just want to say congratulations on your pregnancy. Even if you've had a loss before or many losses before, I am rooting for you and for baby, and I hope that you both are healthy in this season. And I'm so excited for you if you're pregnant. And yeah, I really hope this video has helped you in any way. If you have any questions, please message me or comment them down below. And yeah, I just really enjoyed sharing this with you guys. I feel like we're kind of just like hanging out in my room chatting about the first trimester. It's been a wild ride, but I am so here for it. My friend Grace, when she got pregnant last year, she's almost due soon. I asked her, she's like coping okay with all of her symptoms, and she was really having it rough too, and she just said to me, mate, it's an honor. And like, that stuck with me for so long during my pregnancy. Like, whenever I feel awful or whenever I'm like just so down, I just think about what an honor it is to be growing life inside of me. And I just hope that encourages you a little bit and makes you feel seen and heard and understood. Thank you so much for watching this video and spending your time with me. I'm so unbelievably grateful, and I'm just so grateful for this little community that we have too. Yeah, I'm just so excited to see what the next couple of months are like, and I will definitely update you guys as we go. But for now, this is it from me. I hope that you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you again in my next video. Oh, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. Bye.